Just so you know.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back, everybody.
Why do I always do that? Whenever you're like, hey, welcome back, I'm like, hey.
She's like, welcome to our humble
I'm like,
abode.
Broadway comes out of me.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Justina.
And this is Just So You Know. We are very excited to talk to you all about this very important topic. It's a thing that we all do, we all partake in. Things are going to get hot. They are going to get steamy. If your nips are not piercing through your shirts by the end of this episode, we have failed you.
Yeah.
Today, we are talking about sex.
Sorry, I wanted to join you with that word.
Let's talk about
Sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. The good and the bad. Yeah, that's for dang sure.
These people are like, are you okay? What did you guys drink before you came
A
here?
lot of coffee.
That is true. That is true. It's a little early, but yes, guys, we are going to be talking about sex and how you can improve your sex life.
By going vegan.
That's right. So before we rip our clothes off, Justina, how the hell are you?
I'm freaking tired. I mean, you nailed it with that. I feel like I've been having early mornings and late nights. I'm like aging myself. But thank God I'm vegan because it definitely helps. Coffee's not helping, but it's been a very crazy week. I said, bring it on.
No, I feel that. This weekend, I needed to just get out of the city. I went to my dad's place in Jersey. We just went to the gym, relaxed. Like I went for a swim.
I need that. I need the sun. I feel like when I am feeling pale, which people are like, you're not pale. You're Puerto Rican. I'm like, I'm freaking pale, damn it.
Bitch.
For me, I'm pale.
God.
Girl, we're low-key almost the same shade.
I don't think so. I'm like a snowman, but
Relax.
I don't
think you're a snowman. You're not that white.
I've gotten used to it though.
But I need the sun. I definitely need the sun. I've been like dreaming of sunshine and fruit because it definitely boosts my energy levels. And not to be TMI, but I feel like this week in particular, which is never the case, my sex life has been like kind of blank because I'm just so tired. And it's winter, so I'm not able to have as many fruit diversity in my diet as much as I would like. It's totally crashing my system.
Dude, there's so many things that can affect your sex life from just your mood, stress levels, your environment, things that are going on. And today we're going to change things up and we're going to talk about how food actually impacts your sex life. So we have an amazing guest coming on in the next couple of segments. Her name's Amanda Brody. She is super awesome and she does a lot of different campaigns with PETA that actually uses sex to talk about veganism and how the two are correlated in ways.
Isn't that crazy? Sex really freaking sells. I'm not gonna lie. One of my last roles, my first day on set was a sex scene, and I was like, I said, oh, my ass on screen, first day, like nipple covers. I'm like, hey, all men. It was like a male dominant show, and they were like, congratulations, you got the role. We want this, but first day on set is a sex scene. And I was like, I need to meet this motherfucker before I'm like nipples out, ass out. Obviously not fully naked, but as naked as you possibly can be.
She's like, let me eat a bunch of fruits and veggies.
It was like pineapple, grapefruit, pineapple.
So I can get in the mood.
And then the stress happens. I'm like, it's not working. But yeah, a sex scene. So I'm very familiar with all sex liberations and how sex sells. I'm glad Pete is on board with that.
Absolutely. So what are some facts that you know about sex?
Well, I know that it can bring people close together. That's for sure.
That's cute. I like that one. It definitely can. It can also cause issues and tear them apart.
For sure. But from my experience, I've made sure that when it comes to sex, it's a very like spiritual thing. When you have sex with me, it's very spiritual.
Like an exchange of energy, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, I think so. It's a level of intimacy that you don't, or I don't think most people exchange with a lot of people. So I think sex is very sacred.
So my first fact is that a single human male produces enough sperm in 2 weeks to impregnate every fertile woman on the planet.
Y'all need to relax. This makes a lot of freaking sense. Guys are, wow, we are built different.
Put your dick in your pants.
Be like, you know what? Guys don't need to know that, because now they're going to be like, oh, another reason. Instinctually,
they're like,
I have to put my seed everywhere. Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed.
No, they're like, more of me.
Yikes. Like, no, less of you. No, I love men, but like less.
If they're vegan, then I'm like, okay, more of you.
We need more vegan men, that's for sure. Anyway,
Okay.
Another thing I know about sex is that like when you're in the sun, when you're in the sun, you're getting charged. So like it makes sense, right? Like I'm Puerto Rican, right? Like Puerto Ricans are known to be like super like sexual. A lot of Latinos and a lot of Latin countries, islands are very sunny. So I feel like when you're in the sun, when you're eating fruit, you're definitely more stimulated.
Okay, thank you.
It's
for that.
true.
Okay, well, my second fact is the German term.
Why are your facts so ridiculous? The German term.
You'll like this one.
I'm like, the sun.
No.
Like, the German facts.
This is important to know.
Okay,
Because
I'll relax.
After you hear this fact, you're gonna realize why the Germans may not want to use contraceptives, because the German term for contraceptive is Schwangerschaftsverhütungsmittel. By the time you finish saying it, bitch, like, it's too late.
I'm turned off. As soon as you say the word, I'm like, huh? What is it? Is that for contraception?
Yeah, the German term for contraceptive is Schwangerschaftsverhütungsmittel. So it's like, hey, do you have your
Schwangerschaftsverhütungsmittel?
That like totally ruins the mood. I mean,
be like, don't you worry about that. I've got my Schwangerschaftsverhütungsmittel.
Yeah,
Right here.
We're not doing that. Okay.
Anyway,
what's your next fact?
About sex? I know a lot of women have difficulties with orgasming. That's unfortunate. I don't have that, but I know a lot of women struggle with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, vegan women have reported to have longer orgasms and more orgasms, and the record-breaking number for the most amount of orgasms in one
session?
hour
Okay.
1 hour is 134.
The fuck? I don't believe that.
I don't know if she was vegan though.
What? For an hour?
Yeah. So
Okay, but
I think she like had to orgasm 2 times in every like minute or something.
She's a liar. What the fuck?
Faker.
Liar! There's not enough minutes in an hour. If you said 60, I would be like, okay, liar, but maybe. Maybe it was one continuous orgasm. Because in my head, sometimes that happens. I'm like, that was like maybe one continuous. It was like a roller coaster. It was like, but it was one cool roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I don't
know.
Get on
a roller coaster ride.
I'm like, after reading that, I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. You were like, oh my God.
Jeez.
It's not happening for me.
Okay.
That's too much though.
My next fact is the fear of having, seeing, or thinking about an erection is called iphiphallophobia.
To see an erection?
Yeah, people are they have phobias against it.
Both men and women?
I guess so.
Interesting.
It's like, what do you do if you have a
You're
dick
like,
and you have this fear?
It's growing.
Shut up.
I'm done. This episode is already my favorite. Imagine your boyfriend's getting set and you're like, whoa, no! Stop!
Okay, what's your next fact?
Well, my next fact is I don't have that fear. And
okay, good. My next fact is British spies stopped using semen as invisible ink when they realized it began to smell bad over time.
They use that as invisible ink?
Yeah, British spies during World War I.
Weirdos. Sorry, what the fuck? They're like, well, we have an excess amount of this. Might as well put it to use.
They're like, give me 1 second.
Bing. Put in my syringe. Like a little cake batter, like when you... the little cake thing when you do the icing. You're like, just a sperm full of piping.
And then they're reading the invisible ink that was written. I mean,
Ew.
okay.
Sperm does stink. If they're not vegan.
That's right. I was just going to say. We'll get
You don't
there.
want to say it stinks and then stop eating animals. Just
Okay.
saying.
Speaking of animals, apparently dolphins have sex for pleasure, similar to humans, and not a lot of animals do. They have sex to reproduce. So that's interesting.
That is interesting.
A female ferret will die if she doesn't have sex for a year.
That's me. No, just kidding. You're like, oh, this is my last day.
Poor baby.
Just kidding. That's not me. I don't give a shit. I have great discipline. Not gonna lie.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when I was younger, most guys were like, they look at me and they think like, oh yeah, she's DTF, and I was like, boy,
You got to work for it.
No, you ain't getting shit. I was major tease. I'm like, I love kissing if I like you, but that is it.
Yeah.
But I was very like, I've just always been a romantic. So I'm like, if I don't love you and you don't love me, like Barney says, sex is not happening.
Well, PETA says that we should go on strike from having sex with non-vegan men.
That is something I thought I was going to be doing, but that is difficult. There's just not enough vegan men out in the world.
Well, I like the term vagicacy. And
Vegetarian.
Miss Vegetarian over here.
I went to a cool like arts thing. Shout out to So Far. They give spotlight to like local artists, and there was this one guy who was doing like freestyle spoken word, and he had a song called Vegetarian. Obviously, I'm not a vegetarian, but I thought the concept was really cool because I was like, oh, vegan, vegetarian, vegetarian.
So eat pussy and nothing else.
Yeah, only eat pussy and don't eat animals.
Love that.
Right? Yeah, I thought it was cool. I was like, I'll support that.
I could be a vegetarian.
A vegetarian or a vegetarian? Wouldn't the world like to know?
They will never know.
Just so you know.
Okay, this is another good fact. Female penguins engage in a bizarre form of prostitution.
Yo.
So apparently...
That's a new name. I'm like, you're a freaking penguin, girl. You're a penguin.
They're manipulative. Researchers have reportedly seen and observed female penguins exchanging in sexual favors with male penguins that are not their partners.
I thought penguins mate for life.
In exchange for pebbles they will use to build nests for their babies.
You got to do what you got to do. I'm like, hey, nobody's gonna know. Give me those pebbles. Get out of here. Wow. I'm going to call really manipulative, sexually manipulative women penguins now. It's like you're acting like a penguin.
Women just have men like wrapped around their fingers, don't we? Like, it's great.
It's great, but also not great.
Why?
Well, because if you're in a relationship, and we know this, like women are very, very manipulative if they want to be. And even when they're not even trying to be, men are just so mesmerized by women. And if they're very forward with their sexuality, men just lose all sort of fucking logic. Well, most men.
Withhold sex and then they'll go vegan. I mean, we could try that.
That's true.
Okay, this is a very fact-heavy episode because
okay.
There's a lot of things to say.
I love all your facts.
Thank you.
Give them to me.
There's a lot of things to say about sex.
There is.
I have that old people have great sex.
I love that because I know I'm getting old. As a vegan, I'm reaching. I'm gonna hit that 90 mark. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah. And I want to still have good sex.
Well, it's a good thing to note that almost a third of all women over 80 years of age still have sex with their partners. So I guess you'll be a part of that 1/3.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to be proud.
That's good. And then to end and conclude this little fact segment, this was insane. In several countries, some new brides place tiny bags containing chicken's blood into their vaginas prior to intercourse to prove the hymen was intact before marriage.
That's extreme as fuck.
And some people actually do sheep's blood.
No.
In their vagina.
They don't get sick? They don't get a disease?
I think they place the tiny bag so it's like in the bag.
No, that's ridiculous because when I first had sex, that did not happen. Well, obviously, chicken blood in my vagina wasn't in that.
I'm so glad that you didn't engage in this ritual, Justina.
I hate this episode. I'm sweating. No, I'm saying like I didn't bleed.
Okay.
I feel like most women don't do
People
that.
want to know where this is going. So let's get into...
Sorry.
She's taking the vegetarian off. Okay. Let's all wait.
For a second.
Please hold.
Just for a second. I might put it back on because I get cold, but I'm sweating now.
Okay. Here's the problem.
Okay.
People are having less sex than ever before.
Right. I don't believe that.
You know, it's true. There was a study that was done at UCLA, and it basically shows that people now in their early 20s are 2.5 times as likely to be abstinent as their parents and their grandparents were at that same age.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a number of reasons that these recorded numbers could be happening. There's, I mean, it doesn't all pertain to diet. Like some people could be having less sex because perhaps because of COVID and they're worried about the exchange of disease. Like
That's true.
Of course, those numbers went down, right?
Right.
There's also a number of reasons like social media. People are spending more time online. Maybe they're...
Oh, that's crazy. It's true. They'd rather scroll and look at pictures than be intimate and build relationship with each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's so sad. I hate it here.
Maybe they're doing like video sex or something.
Right. They're like,
oh, is that what
what's
you
the
do?
TikTok stuff? And they're like,
I'm just gonna let that sit.
that's
for a
why I
second.
don't TikTok.
I'm gonna let that sit with
They're
everyone.
like, you like this?
If you
What
guys
are the TikTok dance?
If you guys could see what's actually going on right now in front of me, you'd have a conniption. Okay, so that kind of leads into porn. So porn could be another reason why people are having less sex, and also porn kind of creates this idea of sex that it isn't. It's like they make it seem like a performative act, and I actually have a really funny porn story.
I don't watch porn anymore. Porn is that's a whole other topic. Once I figured out what all porn is about and where it comes from, I was like, yikes, not contributing to this bullshit. And you're right, it's very performative, but sex can be performative.
Okay.
No, right? It's fun.
I was at the zoo when I was like 10 or 12.
Why do you have to be weird?
And I saw these two monkeys having sex. And
you recorded it and you
No.
were watching it later like a weirdo?
I didn't record it, but then I looked up on my mom's computer, like mating and sex. And then I found myself on Pornhub and my mom came into the room and I'm like watching.
No, yo.
I was curious.
You were like, just in case.
It wasn't me. It was the monkeys.
You were like, ah! This was not my intention, mother. She was like, oh, Lord, having a heart attack. She was like, not this. That is hilarious.
So don't watch porn. And
Literally the other day when you sent me videos about the freaking animals and breeding, the next video were rhinoceros fucking. I was like, this bitch is gonna fuck up my search history. And I'm gonna have some weird ass videos popping up, and someone's gonna be like, Justina has an issue. She loves animals too much. I was like, delete. Clear history. What the fuck, Jamie?
Justina watches.
You know that video,
French
don't
bulldogs.
you?
I know.
You know that video because I
Yeah.
know it probably came on after you.
I've seen it. It's really fucked up what we do to these animals. So that being said, there are a number of reasons why people having sex could decline. But we are here to offer advice on how to improve your sexual life. And one way to do that is by going vegan.
So
So
true.
some of the issues that people might be facing are they have less energy.
Right.
So that being said, that could affect their stamina, their ability to get in the mood.
That's a big one.
Absolutely. And that's based on a lot of the time what you're eating, your hormonal imbalances. We were talking about some people might even be self-conscious. Maybe they're stinky down there.
Mm-hmm. Stinky. I'm just kidding.
There's a word that has come up kind of often. It's called keto crotch.
No.
Do you know what that is?
No.
All right. So basically the typical
Keto crotch, like the diet?
Well, keto is a diet where people eat high protein, high fat. It's mostly animal-based foods.
Oh.
And so there's a term called keto crotch, which
I'm learning a lot of terms today.
it throws off the pH balance of somebody's vagina. So
I believe that. Whenever I go, I mean, this is not sex related in a sense, but whenever I do a road trip and I have to go to a public bathroom and I go into the bathroom, I could tell that people are eating dead bodies. I'm like, your piss smells like death.
and their poop too.
What did you say the other day? You said you were like, I'm vegan, so my poop doesn't stink. I'm like Jamie,
it doesn't.
You did not just say that your shit doesn't stink.
It doesn't smell as bad, I feel like, as a meat eater.
Okay, well, that's different than my shit doesn't stink.
I mean, it's earthy. But anyway, so keto crotch. So you...
Anyway, keto crotch.
Back to keto crotch. So the typical vagina pH level is around 4.5. And so according to an older study, it's like in 2007, they found that a diet high in fat might cause a vaginal pH to rise to 5.1. And that could lead to bacterial vaginosis, which is like, it's called BV. It makes your vagina, I guess, smell.
Yeah.
So
I definitely feel like my hygiene, especially down there, has definitely improved since I've been vegan. Not that I had an issue before, but like even now, I could definitely feel like I don't even think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even think about it, and like she is healthy.
Absolutely. I mean, there's been studies that have found there's been studies that show that eating a plant-based diet does actually help you smell significantly better. And not only that, but they say that a men's sperm and semen is actually sweeter on a plant-based diet.
I believe that.
I've seen the difference firsthand.
Me too. Yikes.
Yikes.
I'm going to get in trouble in this episode. No, it's true. It's true. And it's nothing against any man. I think men should take this video with pride and be like, oh shit, let me be a healthy masculine man and take care of my hygiene in ways that I've been neglecting.
Well, let's also take care of your blood flow, because a vegan diet shows that not only is it, helping you feel better, have more energy, but there's scientific data that shows that going vegan can help with blood flow to your whole body, not just around your heart.
Right.
So lower cholesterol, that's directly related to better performance in the bedroom, and also directly related to a plant-based diet.
I agree. I mean, how detailed are we getting on this episode? I'm just going to leave it at this. Make me sweat. Make me harder. Make me lose my breath. Make me water.
Oh, so hydration.
Yes.
Juicy Justina.
Juicy Justina, Juicy Jamie. I'm definitely water sign.
Definitely.
I'm embarrassing the shit out of myself on this episode. It's okay.
So yeah, you can also have hydration. Yeah,
it's true. That I think that's a big issue with a lot of women who suffer from, I don't know. I guess that's the wrong way to frame it, but like who don't experience multiple or orgasms in general. There's not enough hydration. There's not enough blood flow going on down there.
They're a little dry down there, and also some lubes are not vegan, which we'll get into.
Fuck lubes. I'm sorry. I'm a no lube type of woman. I don't need it.
Good to know. So many foods
Just
boost blood circulation, including some of these foods that are going to maybe be helpful to you are greens, like leafy greens, figs, pumpkin seeds, dark chocolate, almonds. These are also great sources of vitamin B and zinc. And these can actually help to elevate testosterone levels and your sexual desire. So that shows that there's a lot of plant-based foods that can help with that. And
I'm surprised you didn't mention more fruit.
More fruit for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. More fruit for sure. And there's a study that was conducted in 2012 that showed that ditching meat and dairy can greatly improve our mood and help with, gut, because there's a direct correlation with your gut and how you're
100%.
feeling. It helps boost serotonin levels.
Yep.
And so that being said, the research has shown that vegans have lower instances of anxiety, depression, and
Oh, I don't know about that.
therefore, no, it's true. And therefore more of a healthy sex life.
Yes. I mean, I can't deny the fact that I feel like I'm in a deeper depressional state because of my I opened another door into veganism, which makes me really sad. But when it comes to sexually, okay, yes, no, that is not the case. I feel like, especially when I was living in LA and I had so much access to like fruit, I would wake up and have fruit bowls, acai bowls, and like I've gone on like mango, like mono mango kicks, like 3 days of just eating mangoes. And let me just say, it's real.
Please consult your doctor before taking any medical advice from this show.
This is not medical advice. This is just advice from one woman to another. Eat your mangoes. It will definitely boost your energy. That's for sure.
And you'll have a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your skin will be glowy.
Okay, good. So you can also have longer erections when you go vegan. So there was a experiment that was done on a film called Game Changers.
I saw that.
Definitely check out Game Changers, you guys. It's an amazing film.
Check out Game Changers.
It's about athletes that improved their numbers and their physique and their recovery times on plant-based diets. And one part of the movie, they do this experiment where they take 3 male college students and they feed them a meat-based burrito one of the days, and then they measure their sexual activity and their erections throughout their sleep. And then they do the same thing the next day, except they feed them a plant-based burrito.
Right.
And what they found is very interesting. They noticed that the men showed an 8% increase in their erection hardness, and a 300 to 500% increase in the erection duration
That is insane.
compared to the meat-based meal. Yeah.
I remember watching that moment with my boyfriend, and I looked at him. I was like, not that he needs it, but I was like, you see, haven't you been benefiting from dating me? Because he eats plant-based, like I would say like 90% of the time with me. And I think that's such a great movie for men, especially because they are so meat protein based that they don't even realize how they're screwing themselves over in so many different facets.
So many ways. And protein comes from plants. You can get so much protein on a plant-based diet. Sometimes I think I'm getting too much.
Yeah, and the benefits are incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, eating a heavy meat diet and dairy diet, you're actually taking in all these synthetic hormones.
Yikes.
You can only imagine how that's affecting your body and your sex life, because honestly, a huge part of getting in the mood and feeling sexual has to do with your hormones, and it may be imbalances with that.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, and you can also have better sperm quality on a plant-based diet. Several studies indicate that frequent intake of foods that are heavy in meat and dairy, that they can negatively affect sperm quality, whereas fruits and vegetables might improve it. So that's interesting. If you're looking to have a baby,
Stop eating babies.
love it. Put that on a t-shirt.
If you want to have a baby, stop eating babies.
I mean, I am at that point where I just want animals to be able to live their lives freely, that I actually have to go into scientific data to explain how going vegan will improve your sex life just so you will stop hurting animals. It's
I
insane.
know.
We have to find like all these loop arounds to just get to the same end goal, which is to go vegan and cause less harm.
Right,
You know, it's insane.
I mean, it makes sense. Everyone learns differently. I mean, I'm definitely not an audio learner. I am not what are the other ones? Like I don't learn well with hearing things or reading things, but when I do them, I'm a kinesthetic learner. When I do them and I practice it,
Yeah.
it hits me differently. But some people need to hear facts. Some people need to hear statistics in order for them to take a leap.
Well, I am happy to offer another statistic.
Just message Jamie. Go ahead, girl.
Vegans enjoy sex more. And this is not just coming from me. This is coming from a survey conducted in 2020. And it discovered that 84% of vegetarians, so this is not even vegans, imagine vegan, reported satisfaction with their sex lives compared to only 59% of meat eaters, which is interesting. And then on the flip side, 95% of vegan participants said they were satisfied.
That's crazy. I believe that. I don't have any complaints, and I really do feel like it's all about what I eat for sure.
Yeah, well, think about it. It's like you go to a big, heavy, steak dinner, and you're not in the mood. Yeah, you feel heavy. You feel tired. I think about it after you have a Thanksgiving meal. You want to sleep.
Yeah, you feel fat.
It's true, though. It's like plant-based foods are just easier to process.
Yeah.
And so compared to digesting a heavy meat-based meal, it's like you go out to dinner, and if you feel light and you feel on your feet, even if you eat a heavy plant-based meal, you're more likely to be able to get in the mood because
for sure.
I could exercise, honestly, after a heavy plant-based dinner.
For sure. All my non-vegan friends and family, every time they eat a vegan meal, they're like, wow, I don't feel so exhausted. I don't feel so weighed down. And they have a lightness about them. I'm like, well, if you want to have a better relationship.
Absolutely. I was talking to a friend the other day about this episode, and I was asking him, how has sex been different for you since going vegan? And he actually said, he goes, that he's been vegan for about 10 years.
Wow.
And he has noticed that he has stronger erections, more stamina, quicker periods of rest, so he can kind of go again faster. And
go.
Yeah, and can perform more in one session. It's amazing. And that's especially for women, because I feel like with women, it's like we don't need as much of a break as men. It's like we orgasm and then we could go again. But guys sometimes need time to recover. And it's like if you go vegan, that recovery time could be quicker.
Right. Take note, fellas.
Take note. So this... there's so many questions that I have for Amanda Brody, our guest at PETA, because PETA really does some intense demos and some kind of controversial activities when it comes to talking about sex and veganism, and they're actually brilliant in their approach to campaigning.
I love that. I can't wait to talk to her too, because a lot of people get mad when vegans use sex to point out why they should go vegan. I'm like, whoa. Why when it comes to veganism, you don't want to talk about sex, but sex can be smothered everywhere else. You know what I mean?
Right.
They try to villainize us if we use sex. They're like, oh, like for what we did with the dairy thing, they're like, oh, look at these girls making it about them and their underwear. And it's like, you missed the point, but you didn't say anything about the Victoria's Secret fucking show. They're in much more risque lingerie.
Well, here's the problem is that the meat industry and the dairy industry uses sex to sell a lot of their products. They have the women in the Dove chocolate commercials that have milk pouring down their chests. And
Yikes.
They use sex to sell products of violence and cruelty. So why can't we use sex to sell products of compassion?
Correct.
Towards animals. And so I think that PETA knows that sex sells. They know it draws attention. There's men, I think about sex every 20 seconds.
That's crazy. Am I a guy? Just kidding. Am I a man?
Yeah, I think about it often too. Well, without further ado, let's bring on Amanda Brody. She is the senior campaigner for international grassroots campaigns at PETA.
For having me. I'm really excited to be on the podcast.
Yay, we're so excited to have you here. So can you just let us know a little bit about what you do at PETA?
Yeah, I'm a senior campaigner at PETA. So I organize and lead demonstrations across the country. So if you've ever seen one of PETA's big protests, maybe it involved fake blood or body paint or maybe dumping some coconuts or also a bed on the sidewalk, which we'll talk about. It was probably either me or someone else on my team. So my job is amazing and it's offered some really unique experiences in the last 6 years, and I've enjoyed every day.
That is so fun. Cool. I mean, how it sounds like what you do is kind of risque and on different levels. So with your job and the things that you do at PETA, how has the public reacted to some of the activism that you've created?
Yeah, it really depends on the type of protest. I do all sorts of things for PETA. So I'll work on any of our campaigns, including our vegan campaign, which of course I've done some demonstrations where I've built a bed on the side of the street. And we usually do this around Valentine's Day where we have a vegan couple cuddled up in a bed.
Aw,
And it's just such a fun protest.
that's
We remind
cute.
people that vegans make better lovers,
Mm.
that if they want to boost in the bedroom, they should go vegan. And it's such a great way for us to start a really important conversation because people come over and they talk to us and we hand them a vegan starter kit and we can show them, hey, this is what you can make. This is a way that you can take animals off of your plate. So usually all of our protests there, it's so fun and it just depends. But I've done everything for PETA in the last 6 years. So
That's so fun. And I think it's great because it also uses humor
Right.
to get people speaking about these topics. And, it's like you see two people in a bed on a sidewalk. You don't often see that. It's not like a common occurrence. So it's a really great way to, number one, get people's attention.
Right.
And number two, kind of make them laugh. And they're not going to be super defensive at first because it's a type of protest that we're very vulnerable in that state because they're in a bed. They might be sort of naked. And then the public then comes over and they kind of, I guess, have the upper hand. And so when we talk to them about these topics, I just think it's brilliant. I love that kind of campaign.
That's so cool. And they probably had no idea that it had to do with veganism. They're like, what?
Yeah, it's such a fun way. Another one we've done too is where we've just created this huge pile of bananas. I'm talking like probably 4 or 5 feet high. A lot of bananas. I swear sometimes I order things from grocery stores and they're like, what on earth? But it's fun. A life of the day of PETA campaigner. But basically the idea there was we were telling people if you want to go bananas in the bedroom, go vegan. So we were handing out bananas to people. We had,
Okay.
girls in like fun outfits, and that was another fun sexy demo we've done to talk to people about veganism.
I'm happy you said that because I was like, oh no, why did y'all buy all these bananas and wasted them in a pile? We're gonna be scrutinized, but you handed them out to people. Thank you for clarifying.
So, I mean, you heard a little bit of the episode beforehand about why going vegan might improve people's sex lives, but can you get more specific about when you do these type of protests, what kind of information are you offering to the public, and why in particular does going vegan improve people's sex lives?
Yeah, so whenever we do these protests, we always give people a guide to going vegan, which will show them, what they can swap out in their current diet to keep animals off of their plates. Usually these include like a meal plan. And of course in there, it also talks about animals and what they go through when they're raised and killed for food. So again, these protests are just such a good way to grab people's attention, which PETA is really known for. And that's what we have to do to get people to think about animals.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, these are people who are having fun. They're practically naked. Usually it's cold because it's February. So they're very vulnerable. So the public comes up and they're like, what on earth is going on here? So we talk to people how meat heavy diets, they are filled with cholesterol that is clogging people's arteries. It's restricting their blood flow, and people often don't think, oh, it's also restricting blood flow to other parts of my body, which can affect your bedroom activities. So we explain to people that the benefits of going vegan can extend into the bedroom, and that if they want to boost, they should go vegan. And of course we talk to people about the animals too, because at the end of the day, PETA is an animal rights organization, and there's so many different ways that we can appeal to people for them to make kinder choices for animals. And if it's going to be that you want to boost in the bedroom, we're all for it.
Right. Why do you think PETA has followed that kind of movement into the whole sex-oriented issue?
And the lettuce ladies, too, is another example.
The lettuce ladies? What's the lettuce ladies?
Yes, lettuce ladies are such an iconic part of PETA. If you go to PETA.org, you can find pictures of our lettuce ladies. And the reason we do it is because there's so much noise that we have to cut through, right? And we need to grab people's attention with our life-saving message. Millions of animals are being abused and killed every single day. And so we really need to be creative on how we can grab people's attention. And we know that sex gets attention. And let's be honest, every other industry, as you said, is using sex. So the entertainment industry, the tech industry, and of course the meat, dairy, and egg industries, they use sex to sell their products. And we're just here saying, hey, you can improve your sex life by going vegan. The meat, dairy, and egg industries, they spend millions of dollars on marketing ad campaigns. to convince people that, meat, dairy, and eggs is somehow healthy or is sustainable or, doesn't involve cruelty to animals, which we know is super far from the truth. So PETA uses sex sometimes to grab people's attention. And if some sexy ad or demonstration gets them to go to PETA.org to watch our undercover footage of a dairy farm, then we've done our job right.
That's so true. I remember when I was a kid seeing like a commercial. I mean, we all have, of these models on a car eating a big juicy burger, cow flesh. And I remember being like, dang, I literally thought like, wow, I want to be that sexy when I eat, because I'm not sexy when I eat. And thinking about that, I'm like, wow, that subliminally hit me as a child, thinking that like men love sexy, slim women who eat burgers, and that's just not the case. That bitch stinks. No, just kidding.
That bitch doesn't eat.
First she doesn't eat, and she stinks.
So PETA uses sex to obviously sell a compassionate lifestyle, to sell veganism, to sell kindness to animals. But PETA also withholds sex, right, from men who eat animals. Talk about the strike against men.
That is extreme. I bet the men were like, "Don't you dare!
I'm going
say
vegan.
that shit."
I'm going
like,
vegan.
I hate vegans. This is why I hate vegans.
Yes, so the sex strike was actually something that came out of our Germany affiliate. And it's so great. It's really just kind of tongue in cheek. And it's just like a suggestion that, hey, you might be able to get men to go vegan if you withhold sex from them. So, we all know there's so many ways that we can protest, do advocacy for animals. And so this is just one of them. And so, hey, if you're someone who thinks I can make this person go vegan if I withhold sex, we're all for it.
It's true. It's true. I would say like that was on the table when me and my boyfriend started talking again. I was like, why are you laughing at me?
How did that work out for you?
Well, he's not fully vegan, but as someone who has struggled in my own personal vegan journey since I was 15 to 27, 28, and I was still mentally struggling with it, it was a start. He's very much plant-based, especially with me. He's addicted to cheese. The man is French. So I'm giving it time and patience because it's not even coming from him wanting it. But yesterday we were playing like this cards of like getting to know each other better. And one of the things that he pulled up, it was like, what has your partner helped you learn? And he was like, I've learned so much about the necessity of showing animals compassion from you. And I was like, that is progress. He's not fully vegan, but he knows he's going to hear me, bitch. I'm going to be like, don't you dare kiss me. I'm going to give him the most difficult time. So he eats pretty much vegan with me.
He'll get there. I think it's important to not force it down their throats because we want them to change because they believe it's the right thing to do so that ultimately they're not sneaking like cheese behind our backs. And, with my boyfriend, I set the boundaries from the beginning and I said, buddy, I don't want to see the products. I don't want them around me. You have to respect that, I'm against animal cruelty.
Right.
And eventually I started showing him new recipes, took him to slaughterhouses. I took him also to sanctuaries where he got to spend time with the animals. And then over the course of a couple months, he ended up changing and going vegan for the right reasons. And he felt better and, it really brought us that much closer together. But I guess how does PETA say, or what's your opinion on dating non-vegans and how should we handle those situations?
Good question.
Yeah, I personally think it's a great opportunity for some more activism and to make some more vegans. I mean, if you're dating a non-vegan, there's so many things that you can do with them to show them how easy and amazing being vegan is, like just cooking a vegan meal together. Or as you said, I think going to a farm animal sanctuary as a date is such a cute date idea.
Yeah.
And it really is sometimes maybe the first time anyone has ever spent time with a cow or a pig or a chicken. And they're like, oh, wow, this animal is just like my dog or cat who I have at home. Such a good way of making people vegan. So I think dating non-vegans, you can make some more vegans, which we need.
Yeah.
And, I think when it gets like a little bit more serious, that's probably where I would struggle a little bit. Thankfully my partner's also vegan. So I think as you get into a more deeper relationship, I probably would want that person to be vegan, but I think when you do all those things, there's a good chance they'll become vegan once they learn
don't give up on yourself and don't give up on your partners.
And it's something to look forward to, because when they do go vegan, your sex life will improve that much more.
You're like, babe, do you want me to feel sexier? You need to be vegan because that's going to turn me on.
Well, some people will ask me, they're like, well, do you swallow? Like if they're non-vegan, like, is that vegan? What would you say to that, Amanda?
It's funny you mentioned that, because PETA actually put out an ad quite a bit ago that I saw that said some bodily fluids aren't meant to be consumed, like don't swallow, and it was talking about dairy. And I just thought that was such a clever way that PETA has used.
That's funny.
Sex to talk about animal rights.
But we want you to answer the question, girl. Is it vegan to swallow, or is it not vegan to swallow?
I don't know. It's not a problem I have. So I think that's, maybe cook that vegan meal beforehand and then.
No. What I'm saying is, just because your partner's vegan, sperm in itself is not vegan.
Yes, it is. If it's coming from a vegan, because it's consensual. Vegans are all about consent, and animals can't offer consent. So sperm, plants are living, right? So you're eating plants. So I guess you could say sperm is living, but they don't feel pain. They don't have central nervous systems.
But the sperm didn't consent.
But the man who the sperm came from did.
Ooh, that's a big debate, though, because it could... the cow. Okay.
Yeah, we're all about body autonomy. So I want to talk about this PETA study where they actually found that they had the men on Tinder, and they used different profile pictures to see which would get more swipes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we did a couple of them. So one of them was, we had a man who showed that he loved bacon, and he was going fishing, and then another man who proudly proclaimed he was vegan and he was eating fruits and veggies. And we found that the vegan guy got way more swipes right than the non-vegan guy. And then we also did another one about fishing, because I'm sure we've all seen the guy on the dating apps
Jesus Christ.
dead fish, but after he just caught them and yanked them out of the water. And so we did a profile with a guy who had a dead fish he was holding. And then we had another profile with a guy who was trash fishing, which is PETA's take on compassionate fishing, where we actually just clean up trash around a pond. And of course, again, the guy who had the trash fishing profile received way more swipes to the right than the...
That makes sense. So. I mean, compassion is sexy. I mean, women, I wish they would have done it the other way around. If, like, with a girl holding up ribs, and then another woman eating a green smoothie, or to see how men's reactions would be. But I know for a fact that women want compassionate men. We want men who are trying to do better and not stand behind this stereotype of what's macho. Because even before I was vegan and I saw those, when I was younger, those guys with the fish, I used to be like, ill, disgusting, out of my face.
Yeah, well, it's so funny. I did my own little study where I made a Tinder profile for activism, and I put myself covered in blood standing in a grocery aisle with, you stop eating animals. And I didn't get so many swipes.
They were like, this bitch is crazy. She's a crazy vegan. Way to make us look crazy, Jamie.
Now I can just
I
try to reel them in, and then they don't know what they're getting into, and then hit them. I mean, my boyfriend knows I'll just try to do activism really wherever I can. But.
Right. She's like, it's just for my activism.
Absolutely. I don't want to talk to these fuckers. So one other question that we have for you is, certain condoms, certain lubes, leather whips, products that are tested on animals, they're not vegan. So what kind of advice can you offer for people for toys or different products in the bedroom?
Always check it out before you purchase. There's so many vegan options now. And of course, PETA has a handy guide for you on PETA.org. But yeah, not all condoms are vegan. Sometimes they use casein.
I learned about that. I was like, what the fuck?
And also they
another
thing on animals. But
they test they test condoms on animals?
Yeah. Don't ask me how, but it is a thing.
I did ask you how.
Certain products that are going onto the condom or something like that, and maybe like skin irritation, but I'm not entirely sure. The thing is, there's vegan condoms out there. A couple brands that I know of are Glide and Sustain, but if you just do a quick Google search, it's so easy to find them. And same with any of the toys in the bedroom. There's some that are made of vegan leather, and you just choose those instead. We want to hear cries of pleasure and not cries from animals who are suffering on
Right.
factory farms.
Love
Cleanse, and get a crystal toy. Get a rose quartz toy. Like, cleanse it. Put it in the moonlight, and you can shove it off there.
Well, isn't she connected to the universe? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Amanda. I mean, as soon as PETA told us we were doing this topic, they were like, Amanda Brody. I was like, what does she? I was like,
well, she a crazy woman, isn't she?
well, the queen of sex is here to talk, I guess. So
the queen of vegan sex.
they immediately thought of you. So thank you.
Thank you. I guess I should be, I don't know, happy about that.
Yes, girl. Be excited.
She's setting up the bed on the sidewalk next week, I'm sure.
Right.
Got a lot going on. Well, thank you so much. We've learned so much. And people, guys, you hear it from Amanda. You got to go vegan to improve the sex.
Yeah.
The sexy time.
Do it for yourself. Do it for your partner. Stop being selfish. And do it for the animals.
Most importantly, yes. Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Favorite episode so far? I didn't even cry.
What can I say to make her cry?
Girl, relax. I don't need to cry right now.
Did you know?
No. No. I'm glad that we talked about this, though, because, you know, especially us being women, right? Women get shamed when we talk about sex. We get slut shamed. So it's really a cool angle and excuse to talk about sex when it comes to veganism, because it is about health as well as it is about the animals.
Yeah, it's like, why are we slut shaming and sex shaming? It's like, how did you get here?
It's so true. I hate that. It took me a long time to get comfortable with sexuality, because growing up, like, my mom she used to protect me, because I have young parents. They had me at 17. And so I was like, no sex, you know, all that stuff. And so, like, it took me a minute to, like, be comfortable with my body and sexuality and, like, just being, like, open with talking about it. So I'm happy that we did this episode.
Well, as we discovered today, you guys, going vegan, it can help you have more energy. It can help with maybe the smell that you might have down there. It can help with hydration. It can help you boost confidence, boost your mood.
Yeah.
It can help you sustain longer and harder erections.
Yeah. And it's just sexy to care. It's sexy to be compassionate, and it's another bonding experience. If you and your partner are both not vegan, maybe this could be a really sexy endeavor you guys can do together. Right? Like,
Totally.
Let's eat vegan together. Let's eat vegetables and drink water and smoothies. I don't know. That's hot.
Shove the mangoes down each other's throats.
How many mangoes can you eat? I can eat 10 mangoes.
I
one
could eat
time.
a lot of mangoes.
Girl, I've done many mango fasts. I've done a lot of watermelon fasts, and I'm telling you, like, I was so charged.
There's something so sexy about fruit. I don't know. Have you guys
with
seen those pages?
the juice dripping down your hands, and you're like, "Rah." You could rub it on your skin.
Yeah, it's
So
super.
full.
I don't know. This is super off topic, but there's like those pages where they have like the fruit and they make it like all
And they're
erotic.
like grapefruit, and they're like this with the grapefruit. I'm like, whoa, why am I weirdly watching this?
Like, eat more fruit. So, guys, you can definitely find out more information on this if you go to PETA.org. There's a ton of studies that they've done, and a lot of studies that have been done by major universities, scientists, doctors, that show that a healthy, well-balanced vegan diet can improve your sex life and so many other aspects of your life as well.
I mean, I can't get out the chicken blood
In the vagina?
Yeah. That's gonna scar me for life.
Okay, so when you guys go vegan and when you're having sex, think of us. We got you. We're in your corner.
You're doing great, sweetie.
We're cheering you on. Yay! Get there.
You'll be back.
We'll be back. Wait, before we go, guys, go follow me at It's Jamie's Corner.
And you can follow me at Justina.Justina.
Check out PETA at PETA. And until next time, we'll be back.